I'm Roy Cohen. I'm co-founder and CEO at Behavidence. Behavidence is a company that developed tools to detect mental health disorders based on the patterns of how you use your phone. So I studied my master's in neuroscience in the UK in King's College. Um, and at some point I've realized there are a lot of wrongs in the mental health industry. There are a lot of inaccuracies in the detection and diagnosing of mental health disorders. Um, the US market is very privatized, and therefore, in many cases, it leans towards pharma. And the solution is always take more medication. The UK, because of the nature of its health system, was the first one to say, hey, for depression, 16 sessions of cognitive behavioral therapy actually works better. No other health system in the world was capable of learning this and implying this and putting this into action within the health system. And I think this is one of the reasons we wanted to shift focus, because we are very ambitious in changing the world of psychiatry and make it more accessible for the end users or patients. And we think that the answer would be within the UK market more than any other market. And then we hope to translate it to other markets as well. So we have the product working. We have a couple of insurance companies and employers working with us as paying clients, which is lovely. Right now, we're looking for the scaling stage at the company, which means how do we deploy to more and more health providers and payers. Because our goal eventually is to put the control in the patient's hands rather than like big health and pharma companies. We have started the company during COVID, so everyone's working remotely. It's a US registered company, and lately we registered our first subsidiary, which is the UK one. So yeah, I think it was a definitive shift of focus, the Propel program, because we didn't know that much about the NHS and the UK health system. And this program helped us to sort of do soft landing and understand more of the different components of the UK health system, but also what are the opportunities that lies within the UK health system, and how to think about the combination of a US UK entity combined. So we got a lot of support in just teaching and figuring out what's going on in the UK health system, but more than that, we got a lot of introductions of like, okay, now we need to do real world evaluation. This is one of the trusts that you could talk to and get on board. And I think another additional sort of life-changing event that occurred because of the Propel program, we planned originally to settle in London. And I think because it was a north-centric program, eventually the first office is in Leeds, actually. So I think it was also life-changing knowledge in that sense, where we realized that there's a lot to do and even more opportunity in the north of England than the classic, like if we're going to the UK, we're going to London. So our offices are currently in a Nexus in Leeds University. I moved to Manchester 4 weeks ago, and we hired our first employee in the UK, and we're hiring 2 more. So it's growing. We still employ a hybrid working form, so you can work from home or you can come to the office. But the first physical office that we got is actually in Leeds. I think there's a lot of opportunity in the UK health market. In many cases, companies tend to think US first and then will translate it to the rest of the world. I think there are a lot of benefits that, especially on the health tech sector, you don't see that makes more sense to start in the UK and then translate it west to the US, but also east to Europe and Asia, because of the very unique combination of academic resources and healthcare resources blended all together. It's actually easier to drive impact and also to scale it from the regulation point of view, from research point of view, and from scaling point of view. And this is the decision we made. I think that's my advice. Like, explore the UK market before you make a decision like, no, we're US first, or we're European first, or we're Asian first.